Hi guys, so this video is going to be a bit different than normal, and it's probably going to be long, so just fair warning. But today I'm just gonna kind of talk about a illness that I have and just kind of what it is and my experience with it and things like that. I don't really talk about it a whole lot because I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I just don't really talk about it a lot. I mean, most people probably don't even know that I have this. Some people know that, like, I have, diet restrictions, but they might not know why, and, things like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of talk about it and how it affects me and things like that. So what I have is a chronic illness called Meniere's disease. And Meniere's disease is a disease and illness in your inner ear, like in your vestibular system, like that has fluid, and it's a problem with fluid retention. And what will happen is that fluid will build up in my ear, and it will cause a whole lot of problems. The main symptoms of Meniere's disease is vertigo, or like extreme dizziness, and motion sickness and that type of thing. Tinnitus, which is ringing in the ear, and feeling of like fullness or pain in your ear, and fluctuating hearing loss. And there are other symptoms, but those are the main ones, and from that, like, you can have more symptoms, but those are the main ones that are used to diagnose it. But there can be all kinds of stuff that goes with that. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's just when there's a fluid buildup in your ear, in your inner ear, you can get really dizzy and have a vertigo attack, like with vomiting and like just a spinning feeling. Your ears will probably be ringing all the time, like mine are. You can like have a pressure feeling in your ear, and your hearing loss. You will have hearing loss, and it can fluctuate sometimes. Like sometimes you will be able to hear less than normal, and sometimes then it might come back and stuff like that. But a hearing loss in general. Anyway, so this for me, this started when I think it was like a month or so, roughly, before I turned 16. So I was 15, almost 16, and I just started having like really bad like pressure pain in my ear, and we had noticed some hearing loss. Like I was having a lot of difficulty like just understanding what people were saying, and I would have to ask what they were saying all the time. And so that was kind of where it started. You know, I hadn't really gotten dizzy or anything yet. And I was also noticing some ringing, but not all the time, but just some weird things. So eventually we went to my doctor and checked for ear infection, because that's what they expected. No ear infection. Kind of didn't know what to do. I think we waited. I don't think they sent us. Yeah, I think we just waited and waited for a time, or I don't remember if they gave me medicine for it or not. But I think we just waited, and we came back again. Still no ear infection, and yeah, still having the problems. And so she sent us to an ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he came in and he looked. He's like, no ear infection. Yeah, we know there's no ear infection. So yeah, we talked to him, had a hearing test. It showed slight hearing loss. Like, I screamed here as well as a normal 15, 16-year-old. But he said it wasn't too bad. I really I don't think we really did anything besides that on the first appointment. We came back to the ENT a time later. I had maybe I think maybe then I had like a dizzy spell. I don't think I would call it like full out vertigo, but I was kind of having some dizzy spells and things like that, but not too bad. So yeah, we came in for another appointment, and he said that he thought I probably had Meniere's disease, which is not normal for a 16-year-old to have Meniere's disease. Usually people are diagnosed at an older age, but it's not unheard of. But he's like, you probably have Meniere's disease, it's just not quite a normal case because I wasn't having the extreme vertigo. But that came later, although I still don't have it as bad as other people do. But anyway, so yeah, he suggested a lipoflavonoid, which is a vitamin that I take 2 times a day, and it's supposed to like help with the fluid in your ear and stuff. Oh, I also had, I think I did, yeah, I'm pretty sure I had either a CT or an MRI also at that time to like rule out like a brain tumor or something like that. I think I did. I've had several other health problems that I've had many tests for, so I can't remember exactly if we did MRI at that time or if it was a different time. But anyway, so yeah, he suggested the lipoflavonoid and a low sodium diet, and he gave us paperwork and stuff like that, and we're gonna come back in like some amount of time, some months, and do another hearing test to see if the hearing had changed. And so I started taking lipoflavonoid, low sodium, no caffeine. I quit drinking pop, and I never really drank coffee that much, but just cut out pop, quit drinking any caffeine, although I eat chocolate sometimes because I love chocolate. And then low sodium, which I kind of eased into that. I didn't like go full out on it once he told me I should, just because it is difficult. But I'm not supposed to have more than 2,000 milligrams a day. Sometimes I will do less than that, and sometimes I will do a little more, but usually I'll get sick if I do. And just certain foods, like, I can't eat anymore, like salty chips, or just really salty foods. I'll just stay away from those. And but yeah, so that's what I started doing. The lipoflavonoid, I started to help, I think, maybe with like the pain and pressure, because I don't get a whole lot of that unless I'm going to start feeling bad or like have a vertigo attack. I mean, occasionally I will, but I don't have it like I used to, like the pain and pressure as much. So I started to see an improvement in that. I think this was like I think I was like diagnosed in like the July, August time, maybe September. But by November I had, of whatever year this was, a few years ago, when I was 16. I'm 18 now. By November I had completely quit drinking pop and just cut all of that out, and I started to get more serious on the low sodium. But yeah, and we did another hearing test, and it was maybe slightly worse, because like at school I was having a really hard time with the hearing loss. I mean, it was just a lot harder to hear what my friends were saying, like at school or at lunch especially. Like, I was guessing, like, most of the time talking to people, like, you know, they just smile and hope it and laugh and hope it wasn't a question. That was me. I did that all the time. And or just asking what did they say, but eventually, you know, sometimes they would get tired of it and they'd just be like, never mind. But yeah, never, don't do that. If someone can't understand what you're saying, rephrase how you say it and try to get them to understand, because it's no fun when you can't understand what people are saying and they just are like, never mind, never mind. That's no fun. And I don't know, I was just having kind of a hard time with it because I really wasn't, I was withdrawing kind of. I mean, looking at it now, I was probably definitely like withdrawing. Just, you know, kind of being there, like at the lunch table, listening and, or trying to listen. And I wasn't really contributing to the conversation because most of the time I wouldn't know what they were talking about, which was hard. But I guess part of the problem is that I didn't tell my friends that I was having a lot of trouble hearing them. I mean, they knew that I couldn't, they knew that I was kind of having this problem, but I didn't really explain it to them because I didn't want to, I just didn't want to talk about it and like, I don't know, make them feel bad for me or like complaining. I didn't want to seem like that, but I probably should have told them that it was more of a problem and they would have, I'm sure they would have tried to help me more, but I just didn't. But yeah, they said the hearing loss was maybe slightly more, but it wasn't enough for hearing aids or anything like that. It was like in the mild, like maybe the beginning of mild hearing loss or something like that. But it's like, I don't need any hearing aids or anything. But I was kind of disappointed because I actually really wanted hearing aids, hoping that it would help me. I don't know, probably one of the problems I think with hearing tests is that, you know, they'll do the tones and see if you can hear the tones or whatever. And then they will do, like, they'll say a word and you have to, at different, like, frequencies and, like, loudness. And you have to say repeat the word back to them. And if you don't know what the word is, they will still say to guess. And, like, if you can only hear, like, kind of the word and you guess and you get it right, they assume you can hear it. So I don't know if that was a problem, like, with me or not, because they always tell you to guess. So, but yeah, anyway, I wasn't really happy with that. I wanted to get hearing aids, but, they said it wasn't bad enough. They gave me, like, a paper on how to listen better and stuff like that, and, get used to, like, lip reading type of things, which I am fairly good at, except, like, for, like, beards and mustaches or people who mumble. Oh my gosh, please do not mumble, especially if you have a low voice. Like, oh gosh, I can't understand any of those people. I always have to ask people who have, like, a low mumbly voice to repeat themselves because it is awful. Yeah, I mean, eventually I kind of got used to it. It didn't bother me as much because, like, the first 6 months or more for sure, it was bothering me, but, like, after a year or so, I got used to it more. I was used to picking up on, like, lip reading a bit more and, you know, asking people what they said and, you know, like, being at the front of the classroom or just looking at people's face on and things like that. I got used to it and, it helped me a little bit, and things like that. Anyway, so, the ringing in the ears, it bothered me for, like, maybe the first 2 or 3 months, like, at night. Like, it drove me insane, like, because it's, like, quiet, but there's, like, this loud roaring in your ears, and, like, it drove me crazy for a while. But I would, like, turn on a fan, like, at night and stuff to kind of, like, help block it out, but it doesn't, I mean, I can almost block it out anyway. Like, it's still pretty much always ringing, but I'm able to ignore it or it just doesn't bother me anymore, so that's no big deal. The vertigo and dizziness is, I've had more of it, like, than in the beginning. I think I just hadn't, like, started getting it really too much yet. But I still do not have it as bad as some people that I have seen, that have Meniere's disease. Like, theirs can get really bad. I'm very lucky to have not as bad of Meniere's disease, and it is pretty well controlled right now, actually. As long as I'm just careful what I eat and, like, careful of things that I do, like going to a movie, yeah, going to, like, action movies, I will get sick or dizzy or something, and I gotta, like, look down, like, put my feet flat on the floor. I've never actually left, I don't think, like, left to leave, to walk out, to come back later or something, but I don't think I've ever done that. Yeah. Like Star Wars, ooh, made me feel sick. But yeah, I have had some vertigo attacks, like, where I'll just be, like, laying in my bed, and I'm, like, I feel like I'm in, like, being tossed around in a dryer or something. I feel like I'm moving, but I'm just laying in my bed, and, like, I'm so dizzy and nauseous that I can't, like, lift up my head from my pillow or something. I've had some episodes like that, and they're not fun, but usually I feel better within an hour or 2 or 3 or so. I've never had, like, a drop attack. Well, I used to have a pass out problem, but I've never had, like, a dizzy drop attack. Yeah, mainly I just watch what I eat. I cut sodium out wherever I can. Like, I quit eating a lot of things, or I will only have, like, I really love, like, pretzels and softer, crunchy pretzels. They're hard to find, but we found some, like, no salt pretzels that are delicious, that I will eat sometimes. Like, once in a blue moon, I will get a soft pretzel that you can, like, get at the mall or something like that. But I won't get any salt on it, obviously. But I will eat that, but I don't eat it all the time. I don't season with spices that have sodium in them, or at least as little as possible. And I have, like, no sodium baking powder and baking soda, so that helps with, like, baking dishes. And yeah, just cut it out wherever you can. Eating out is a lot harder, because you gotta either ask for their nutritional menu, or sometimes you can, like, look it up online or on your phone or something. I went to Taco Bell one time, and I asked for a nutritional menu, and this was, like, before I figured out what I could and couldn't eat at places. But I asked for a nutritional menu, and the girl was just like, "What's that?" She didn't know what it was. And I'm like, the stuff with, like, all the foods and the calories and the fat and the sodium and all that stuff. And she's like, I'm not sure if we have one. And I'm like, you have to have one. And so she had to, like, check in the back and ask her manager, and they only had one. So I had to give it back to them. Usually restaurants will have, like, some that you can just take with you. I have several in my purse. But anyway, so yeah, you'll have to do that, and sometimes that's inconvenient to have to figure out what you can and can't eat, or what you might have to substitute or something like that. But once you go to certain places, you'll know automatically what you can have, and so it gets easier there. Yeah, also, like, really knowing what you shouldn't or can't have is pretty important. When our class went on our senior trip, I guess last year, 2015, we went to a pizza place, and me and a girl shared a pizza, and we're gonna share it, and she wanted some more, like, meat stuff on it, and that was really salty, and I didn't really say anything, and I ate it, which it was delicious, but I was like within, I don't know, like 15 to 30 minutes of after I had started eating it, I was starting to feel sick. I didn't really feel good the whole night after that. I like woke up early in the morning and I like was really sick. I had to like lay down on the floor and I felt really bad. And then afterwards, like, people were like, you should have told us that you shouldn't have ate that, and we could have gotten something else or gone somewhere else and stuff. But, you know, I don't know, I didn't want to, I don't know, I didn't want to, like, stop them from doing something. You know, I didn't want them to, like, go somewhere else because of me. And you need to, and afterwards they were really good about it. Like, everywhere we went, they asked, like, can you eat something here? Or something like that. And they were really good about it afterwards. I just didn't tell them. So if you are in a situation like that and you shouldn't eat something and you know it, just go ahead and tell them, because more than likely they will hopefully understand and be accommodating. You shouldn't have to do that. Eat something that you know will make you sick later just because your friends or whatever wanted to eat there, or you were sharing something or something like that. Like, tell them, they'll probably understand. But lately, like within the past, I don't know, 6 months to a year, maybe a year now, 10 months or so, I've actually been doing a lot better with my Meniere's disease. I've been going to a chiropractor for almost a year now. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but I'm feeling a lot better, like day to day with my Meniere's disease and other health problems that I have, which is a whole nother story that would take another long video to talk about, but I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, I've been feeling a lot better, although I would say, like, within this past year, I've been extremely conscious of what I eat, and I don't know if that has to do with it, or the chiropractor maybe helped, I don't know. But in general, I've been feeling a lot better, although, you know, I still have episodes and things like that. I typically take promethazine for nausea, or another drug, another one that I don't remember what it's called. Usually it will help to an extent. If I take it before, it will help a lot more than if I take it after I get sick. But yeah, sometimes I can tell if an attack is going to come, like even before I start feeling bad. Sometimes the ringing in my ear my ears will get a lot louder. Like, it will be like so loud, like I can't hear anything as well. It's just like so loud. It's like a roaring sound. And sometimes I will like go completely deaf almost, and like usually it's this ear. And I just like can't hear anything out of that ear for a time. And then I know probably something's up. I need to go lay down and take some medicine and stuff. But then after the attack, you know, usually the hearing in the ear will come back, the ringing will tone down, and yeah, then I'll start to feel a little better. I don't really know what else to say. I just kind of wanted to make this video to talk about it and stuff like that. I've never seen a young person like on YouTube make a video about Meniere's disease. I watched some videos about it, and usually they're adults, like maybe in their 40s or so. I did see one video of a woman, I think she was maybe in her early 30s, and she said she had had it since she was a kid. But, yeah, just not a whole lot of, like, young people with Meniere's disease, at least that have videos on YouTube talking about it. Usually they're older. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that. And like, anyway, so yeah, this has been a long video, but I wanted to do it for a while, but I just haven't, and trying to figure out how I'm going to say things and stuff like that. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.